Ferrari Jaguar F-Type convertible Jaguar XF. What you'll all be shouting, are you doing testing a Jaguar XF? Are you completely out of your mind? This is about sports cars and supercars, isn't it, John? Yeah. I'm actually bothering to drive this brand new Jaguar XF for one reason, and that reason is a single number. That number is 700. 700 Newton meters of torque. This is a diesel, a 3-litre V6 diesel S. It's twin turbocharged, and yeah, it creates 700 Newton meters of torque. The XF that I drove, sorry, rather the F-Type that I drove recently, rocket ship that it is, creates less than 500 Newton meter torque. So yeah, sure, this car's a bit heavier, I think, but don't forget, Jaguar saloons now are full of aluminium. They're a lot lighter, and this latest generation XF is considerably lighter than the last one. So yes, I have slightly taken leave of my senses and driving a saloon car when my mission is to get away from a saloon car. But when Jaguar offered me a chance to drive this and I looked at those performance figures, I thought, goodness me, why not? So what else you need to know about what this thing can do? So the 0-60 time of the F-Type convertible 3-litre S is 4.8 seconds. That's 0.7 seconds slower than the Ferrari F430 that we drove a couple of weeks ago. This car, a diesel executive saloon car, does the 0-60 in 5.8. That's a second different. I've still got 4 seats. I've sat in the back seat, and I'm 6'2", and I've still got room between the driver's seat and my knees, with the driver's seat sat at my height. So it's very, very practical. Big boot, and the boot even opens remotely, which I spent a good 10 minutes playing with because I'm such a gadget geek. So would I consider buying one of these? Well, maybe if the plan would stretch to a crazy car and replacing my Audi exec saloon thing for my longer trips, and that might open up better possibilities for the nutty car. So all thoughts of fuel consumption things would go out the window, wouldn't they? Why not have a 5 or 6 litre V8 petrol and this? Still very sporty and quick, and yet this chucks out over 50 miles to the gallon. So remember some of that stuff. 700 Newton meters of torque, 5.8 to 60, and 51 miles to the gallon. It's crackers, isn't it? So I'm suddenly starting to think, hell, weekend car, Mustang. What about an AMG Mercedes? Even the saloon, you know, C-Class and E-Class AMG machines with their 5.5 litre V8s, all the older ones at 6.2 litre. Absolute monsters. Or even the Ferrari that we drove previously. That 6 miles to the gallon thing really, for me, ruled it out of the, you know, my sports car choice. Nuts as it was, I struck it off the list thinking I'd love one, but crikey, 6 miles to the gallon is crazy. But why not this? Very, very quick, and trust me, it is quick, diesel for every day. Park a Ferrari in the garage for the weekend, special occasion. We have some more possibilities, don't we? And similarly, if you're watching this channel because you just love sports cars and supercars and following my journey, but you really can't make a sports car work for you in any way, shape or form, why not very powerful saloon car? possible, is it? Maybe. 52k gets you in the seat of this. There's a waiting list already, I'm reliably told by my local Jaguar dealership. But we're getting to the point now where the demonstrators are going to start finding their way onto the forecourt, so you can jump the queue and have a car. This one's got 4,000 miles on it. That's been a demonstrator with Jaguar for a few months, and it's going to be on their forecourt tomorrow. I'm the last person to use this as a demonstrator, I'm told. I've got it for a day, so makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe now we should have a look at the outside of the car, get some views of that, see what you think. So here I am with the Jaguar XFS 3-litre diesel V6 with that stonking 700 Nm torque. You can see it okay in the background there. Let's just do a little bit of a tour of the car. I think that looks rather good. I mean, the front in particular is very aggressive looking. Those wheels are optional, but need to be standard when you go and pick your options. It looks really, really nice. I like this car a lot. I think it looks great. Particularly like the remote boot. Sorry to be a weirdo. Electric boot. Open and close remotely. Looking down the flanks there, what a fabulous looking car for a exec saloon. And back inside the car, just you get that growl as you start it up, which is rather nice. All the vents are on, sorry about that. Very nice. These horrible switches I don't like. Personal taste. Memory seats. Blind spot monitoring on. It's very nice. Now up to just under 60 miles an hour. It's quiet. There's a nice grumbling noise from the engine in dynamic mode. Maybe there's some baffles somewhere that open up very slightly to let more of that noise in. I'll just switch to manual, paddle change if I want it, which is very pleasant. Very slick. It's got the same 8-speed ZF automatic that the F-Type has, and that's nice. It's very smooth, and again the gear changes are instantaneous. The XF doesn't come with a manual gearbox, mostly because you don't need one. I don't know why anybody would want to change gears manually in a exec saloon. It doesn't make any sense at all. The gearbox is switchable, so I can switch to sport mode with the XF's twisty gear selector, which is very, very nice to use. There's also some buttons down here in the center console to switch between normal, dynamic, winter, and whatever else. Now, unsurprisingly, I've got this car locked out in dynamic mode because I want all that power to be available. Right, now 70 miles an hour, I feel nothing. In terms of noise or bumps or crashes, it's very well insulated, but that sense of speed and power, wow, woohoo, Jesus. Right, sorry about that, the blasphemy there. That's only because as those turbos spin up and the car nudges, kind of, it felt like about 3,000, I did glance down briefly, 3,000 revs, absolute avalanche of power hits you, and you just feel like the car's picked up and shoved down the road at some incredible pace. That is quite something. So if you are watching my channel but in the market for a powerful sporting saloon, we'll call it, try one of these. Now you can buy the XF-S in a petrol version. So it's the engine straight out of the F-Type that I was driving a couple of days ago. Exactly the same. 380 horsepower. I'm told, I haven't driven it yet, that you don't get the same noise because it's a saloon car. You don't want all those bangs and cracks and pops constantly in a saloon car, or do you? It's an interesting thought. But apparently in the petrol XFS, you don't get as much noise as you do in the F-Type, and maybe that's understandable. What you do get is the same engine, and I'm told it sounds good but not as noisy. So that'd be good to try out one day. But in the meantime, this 3-litre diesel S, I'm at the point now where I'm reminding myself that I'm driving a diesel, because the power delivery is constant. It feels way more powerful than the 530 I used to have, and obviously considerably more powerful than the A6 that I'm driving right now, because that's only a 2-litre diesel, and I thought that felt quite peppy. I think the difference these days is weight. This car weighs nothing in comparison to previous generations of big diesel engines. So yeah, I mean, engine aside, it's very well made. It has got those window and mirror switches that I didn't like in the F-Type. It's got those. A bit rough. I don't like them, sorry. That's probably just a personal choice. But as saloon cars go, it's very well made. The quality is excellent. I can't find any nasty, scratchy plastic anywhere. You know, that rough stuff they sometimes hide around the cabin to keep the cost down. This is a very, very nice place to be. So if you're a company car driver and your car is up for a changeover, try one of these. Maybe Jaguar wasn't on your list or in the back of your mind because you remember Jaguars of old, the old S-Types and X-Types, sorry, which were not great. Okay, did a job, but compared to BMWs of their time and Audis, definitely not. I would never have considered a X-Type, and the S-Type was just an attempt to tap into nostalgia, wasn't it? Because it looked a bit like a Mark II. So my plea would be, put this on your list. If you've never driven a Jaguar before, and your existing car's up for renewal, and you can get this in a 2-litre diesel too, which apparently is very good. I've driven the 2-litre diesel XE and was very impressed. Give it a go. Absolutely give it a go. You have nothing to lose. Jaguar dealers seem to be very friendly. The guy I spoke to this morning was very nice, couldn't do enough for me. Clearly he wants to sell me one. And they do lend them out on 24-hour test drive. Give it a go. Nothing to lose. So that's it from the inside. Driving, bit of acceleration, that was great fun. This thing goes like a rocket, it's fantastic. I will try and film some out through the windscreen too, and try and get some acceleration stuff going on, because that was very nice, very, very nice indeed. And where you get the most punch is for overtaking. If you're cruising along at 30 miles an hour behind a row of traffic and a little space opens up, this car's perfect. It demolishes the 30 to 50. Right, here we go. I hope you got the sense of speed there. And again, back to that recurring theme of my videos, that feeling of just being pushed up the road with almost an invisible hand behind you shoving you up the road is incredible to behold. It really is, and you need to experience. If you are going to buy a big engine diesel, then certainly recommend you giving this one a go. What is it with me today and finding learner drivers? So there we have it, the Jaguar XFS, which I've had for several hours now, driven all kinds of driving conditions through town, out of town, dual carriageways and so on, to get a really good feel for the car. And again, I'd repeat that if you are intending to buy a new car, always try and get an extended test drive. You don't always get a good or usable first impression with just that usual 20 minutes with the sales guy thing. So what do I make of this car? Well, I wasn't really intending to do a car review of the XFS. I was offered it by Jaguar, and so I gave it a go. I was originally offered the 2-litre diesel. I wasn't really interested, so I pushed my luck and asked for a 3-litre S, and here I am. I would hope that with the video clips that I've put together for you, you can see the pace the car has. It's very, very fast. That huge amount of torque throws you down the road. The twin turbos do their job, so you get a bit of thrust off the lights, and the big turbo cuts in and off you go. It's very, very swift. And so, would I recommend it for a big saloon? Yeah, I would, absolutely. If you are shopping for a new big exec saloon, then absolutely put this on your list to try. If you've not been a Jaguar fan in the past because of all the old stories of reliability and so on, I think those days have gone now, and Jaguar always scores very well in the JD Power type surveys for reliability, how good the dealers are and so on. So definitely include it, give it a shot. If you have been a fan of Jaguar in the past and have gone away from the brand, again, give it a go, nothing to lose. I really enjoyed driving this car. It was a big surprise to me at how powerful it was. Those numbers that I looked at this morning, comparing this to the F-Type, crazy comparison to make, but you know, the torque being a couple of 100 Newton meters more than the F-Type, you can feel it. Doesn't rev like it. But if you need 4 seats and a boot and so on, and you can't get away from the fact, then absolutely, very nice place to be. The technology stuffed into this car is incredible. The infotainment system, very similar to the F-Type. I think it's had another upgrade. It's quicker between the screens. I like that a lot. This car is fitted with everything because it's a demonstrator, so the perpendicular parking thing, I tried to record it. It didn't work out too well recording wise, but it's weird letting go of the steering wheel and the car essentially parked itself with you just covering the brake pedal with your foot. Very interesting, very clever. Every bell and whistle you could ever ask to have. So again, always depends on what it is you're after, and the purpose of this channel, of course, is that how it makes you feel thing. And driving this car, it felt special, you know. And if what you need is a executive saloon car, you will feel good getting in this every day and hearing that little big, I should say, V6 rumble as you start the car. It feels good. You can kind of feel that sense of power that the car has. So yes, I'd recommend it based on my drive today. Give it a chance. Go and test at your local Jaguar dealer. Okay, that's it for the XFS. My thanks to Jaguar, of course, for lending me the car. And my thanks to you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Perhaps a bit different to what you're expecting on my channel, but we can all be surprised sometimes, can't we? So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. I've got some more interesting stuff on its way. Thanks everyone. Bye now.